Hi everyone. Just give me a second. I'm gonna set up the camera and everything. Um, all right. So I see students are coming in. All right. So how are you all doing tonight? Okay. All right. Just give me a second before we start. I'll give you guys a minute or two, and let's have other people join in, and then we can start our session. But I'll introduce myself. Who am I? I'm Ankit, founder and director of NPTE StudyBuddy. We have been teaching for NPT for almost 10 years now. So there must be definitely something good we must be doing. We really enjoy this. Honestly, I never thought that I'll be a teacher in my life. It does not sound attractive to be a teacher. But you know what the best part of teaching is? You're actually making people happy. Like anytime any student passes the exam, they get very happy, delighted. So in short, you're selling happiness, which is the best part of my teaching thing. And my whole team, me, Mayank, Pooja, Purvi, Mansi, Ankita, we are really in this because we enjoy this. And if you were a student, you will definitely understand that do we really love this or not. So I think that's the best part. I think now teaching is the best profession. That's what I feel. So this has been a very busy week for me and for whole the StudyBuddy group. We got results for NPT, and that had been amazing. One of the best in years, I can say. We got the results for PC, which is a Canadian license exam. Amazing, great results. We also got the results for Ontario clinical exam. So we also teach for Canadian license exam, written and the clinical exam. So it had been a busy week. Yesterday I did a live for PC Canadian students. Today for NPT, and we'll do it again on this Sunday. One more live. So the primary purpose of this live is to congratulate all the students who made it, because I mean, when you start your journey, you have to go through credentialing, preparing for the exam, months of preparation, months of dedication towards studies. And trust me, it's not hard. It's not easy to go back to books, especially many of you graduated more than 10 years back. So with all that, I really feel that anybody who passed this exam deserves applaud, deserves a lot of appreciation, and they should feel proud of themselves, right? So now on top of that, we'll also take some guidance from these students. So if you're a student going for exam in October NPT or January or next year NPT, we'll ask some important tip from them. Like what was their strategy? How did they make it in their first attempt? Because we'll have some students who graduate like 10, 15 years back and still manage to pass the exam in first attempt. How did they do it? So it can be very helpful for anybody who's listening. So I won't waste much of your time. I'll try to get them in. And I'll try to have 3 people at a time. Just give me a second. Okay. So I was hoping, I don't see Deepshika and I don't see Prathna either. And I don't see Pooja. So let me have other students. Let me get Monisha. Let me get Bhavya. And let's have, I see Prathna. Okay. All right. Now, I'm sorry. I'll have to ask you guys. You're Bhavya, right? Bhavya? And
Yes, sir.
that's Manisha.
Yeah.
And then I think we have Prathna. All right, great. So, and then if anybody else has requested, just wait. We'll let me finish with them and then I'll come to you. We'll try to keep it short. So let me start with Manisha. Manisha, if you can just introduce yourself quickly in short. your background, like where are you from, when did you graduate, like that?
I graduated from Bombay, India, 14 years back, from KJ Somaya Hospital.
14 years back. Awesome, that's great. Bhavya, how about you?
Sir, I graduated in 2021 from Belagavi, Karnataka, KD University.
Okay, and Pratna, you're a recent grad?
So no, sir. I graduated in 2021 from Terina Hospital, from Terina Medical College.
That's great. So we have Manisha, who graduated like 14 years back. So anybody here graduated long back? Plus we have Bhavya and Pratna, who graduated just 1 year back. Let's hear from Manisha. Manisha, if you can share some tips for students. How do you manage? To go back to books after such a long gap? And any strategies if you have?
Yeah, two things motivated me. Like I have that background that I have to do something for my physiotherapy, because back in India, I know what knowledge I have got. I have not justified my patient. So when I here, there was a zeal that I want to restart my studies. So some things motivated me, and my husband was very supportive. So he helped me. I have a 4-year-old kid, so he started like putting her into school, like daycare. So the moment she goes to school, I starts my study, and when she comes back in the evening, so I finish my study prior to that.
Okay, so you have just one daughter, that's it?
Yes, only one daughter.
Okay. No, that's so one daughter, and then the daughter was going to daycare, and that is when you were managing studies. So which is I think everyone is following that. But how easy was it, like studying again? Like, were you able to understand everything, or what was your strategy to like finish everything or understand and remember everything?
Sir, initially it was very difficult, because when I was not able to answer questions, I was feeling frustrated. But looking back to your notes, videos, like almost I finished before giving exam at least 7 times. I all the videos. So and that helped me in retaining my memory power. And I used to spend some time, like meditating, so that I should not get frustrated between household work and studies. So that has helped me a lot. And
Yeah, I mean
during
it's easy to get frustrated, especially like when you have a daughter and family to manage, and then so that's a great strategy, like meditation and all. That's great. You said you did 7 times revision. Now, how long have you been preparing for this exam? When did you start preparation for NPT?
October. I was in October.
Last year. Okay. So
Yeah.
that's great. You gave yourself a good time.
Actually, I was about to give in October, but Purvi ma'am pushed me that no, you are. And actually, I was pregnant during my journey.
Okay.
So Shri ma'am already they told me that if possible, give early, so that it will be helpful, so that you should not feel backache during your exams, because you have to sit for 5 hours at a stretch.
That's great. That's good to know. So I'll go to you, Pratna. Pratna.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you are a student at Dallas Baptist.
Yes, sir.
So Pratna is doing masters, and you managed to pass this exam.
Yes.
How did you manage time? Time management is the biggest challenge for every student. Like how to finish NPT and other things. What was your strategy for that?
So first of all, I had a mindset of giving in April, but then I felt like I need a lot of revision. Like I'm a person who like really reads a lot, so I need a lot of revision. So then I shifted my exam to July, because I always have this thing in my mind: revision is the key, revision is the key. So I then decided I postponed my exam to July. And other thing was that when I started studying, so in January I actually started studying. So for a month I did only MSK, because I was weak, very weak in MSK. Like what we do and study over here is totally different than what we do over there. So when I was exposed to other things, I was like, it is taking a lot of time. So then that's how I started studying more and more, and I focused on all on neuro in the first month of January. And February 15 days I winded up with neuro. Yeah. And then I kept on revising. I just kept on revising. Then I started solving papers and everything. That's how I went about it.
You started in January and you finish the exam in July, first attempt. That's great. So, Pratna, any strategy for muscular? If you said that muscular was hard for you,
Yes.
what all things you did to finish
Um,
it?
so first of all, it was very boring for me to go again and again read the same thing because I felt like what I was doing the same thing. So I changed my pattern of studying, the way of thinking that I used to. So I used to rewatch all the lectures again. So first of all, like shoulder took me like a week or like 15 days to wind up. So I am like that it's a trap. I need to stop shoulder and start focusing on other joints as well. So I started reading from the books, not exactly from the books, but especially the PPTs that were made, and side by side is to go through my notes. So a lot of people used to tell like you need to watch the lectures 4 5 times, then only you'll understand and everything. So I'm like I don't have that much time of doing again and again the video lectures. So after making my own notes, I used to revise my own notes and I used to see if I'm able to recollect that part. And if I'm not able to understand, then I used to go back into the video lecture and see that particular part, and then I used to resume my studies. And the PowerPoint presentations that used to be there, they are like a blessing. You don't have to open like any books. Your notes and PPTs, that's it.
Agree.
That was sufficient for both of you, Manisha
Yeah,
and Pratna.
that yes.
Notes and
Yes. Notes were enough, sir.
okay.
Notes were more than
Okay, that was a good strategy. So I'll come to you, Bhavya. And if you guys can, other people,
yes.
if you guys can just mute yourself so that we don't have any background noise coming. I'm not sure where it's coming from, but there's some beep coming. Just mute yourself when you're not talking. So let me come to you, Bhavya. Bhavya,
Yes, sir.
what do you want to share about your, like, how did you manage to finish in such a short time? Like everything. What was your strategy to finish such a huge course in a short duration?
So actually, I have been preparing since like a year now, but it was all on and off. Since I was preparing for my Texas stuff, and then I had to switch to New York because my Texas thing was not getting over, and then I had to go back again and study again all over again. So that was a problem for me,
Okay.
and then I had to study all over again.
Okay. Now, which section was most difficult for you? Like muscular, neuro, cardio,
For
nervous
me,
system. What was the most difficult section?
For me, it was other systems.
Other
Other
system was
system was difficult for me
so what
because I'm not good
your
at
strategy for
remembering
that?
stuff. And sir, I stuck everything on my wall, the things that I didn't remember. So I used to see that every day so that I start remembering stuff, make some easy mnemonics so that I get it when I solve questions. I solved more questions related to which topics I was not good at. So that was it.
So more and more questions, and you posted things
More
on the wall.
questions.
Yeah, and you said that
Yes.
you were revising those things posted on the wall like almost every day.
Every day, almost every day. I like revising as in I just used to look at the wall before starting my studies so that I try retaining every day.
Okay. So that's a good strategy, everyone. Like if you're weak in any section, let's say you're weak in research. So a lot of people, what they do is like they start ignoring research. But I think the best strategy, as Bhavya said, is like uh, make notes or some printouts, put it on the wall, and revise it because you can't run away from those questions because they will be in your exam and they are the most important questions. So great strategy. So before okay, let me go to Manisha again. So Manisha, any strategy for each section like muscular, neuro, cardio, non-system, other system, one strategy for each of them. What is the most unique strategy anyone should follow?
Making the personal notes, like learning from the lecture and making your own personal notes, and keep revising it, and every day, like whatever you have, you as like even I have the problem like Bhavya that I was not able to recollect, then a cheat sheet, make a cheat sheet and put it on the wall, and then just follow whatever it will take time, but moment you will going to give will really help in remembering things, retaining things.
Okay.
And yes, not necessary. No, sir. I think other system was challenging, and For me, MSK, if I want origin insertion, if I have to remember, so those important topics like downward and upward movement of scapula, which muscles are important. So I have a picture I have put it on the wall so that I was keep on visualizing it. So okay, the movement is like that. So that helped me retaining it well. So I will never forget. Some concepts were very clear
So,
by our lecture, sir.
anything that you want to share that was the unique thing in Asia?
Uh, Okay. Initially when I started MSK, before any joint, I used to always rectify all the origin insertions, like all the origin insertion, now supply and action. It used to be like that, and used to go that way only. My brain was functioning that way, that I have to go through the origin insertion and then I should go for the joint, and that's how I used to cover the PPTs. And other than that, when I used to go for neuro and other, I don't know, I underestimated myself about, dermatomes, myotomes, but I think maximum questions are we are able to those 5 tables that we have in the Mani chapter. So everybody should like religiously, no matter what, like if you are not able to cover any of your topics, it's okay, but just stick to that Maggie first chapter, like all the tables from that part. You have to know it. You have in the morning, in the evening, and the lab value sheet. You have to know it. You have to know it word by word. And other than that, milestones and reflexes, they should be like it should be in your mind. You should know it. Like 6 months pe
So,
kya hai, 7 months pe, it should be that way. Like that's how I used to do it. And yeah, so yeah. So I had made diagrams in all the months. Then I used to, and after like looking at it like 100 times over before the exam, I knew it like what they are talking about, what month they are talking about, and that's how I used to attempt the question. Eventually, if you revise it, you know it. It's gonna be that way.
that's
So
strategy. So, guys,
that's what
I
I learned from
think
it. Yeah.
Maggie and comes from there. That's most important. And don't get lost. You just finish that chapter, you'll be able to answer all the questions. And as she said that like she did revision so many times. So anybody who passed the exam, like all of them passed the exam in the first attempt. Anybody who passed the exam in first attempt, it does demand huge, like significant hard work.
Yes.
Nobody's passing the exam just like a joke. Okay, paper is never easy. Exam is never easy.
Never.
Students who pass, they are very hard workers to make it. Okay, so keep this in mind, like revision. So last thing to you, Bhavya.
Yes.
Bhavya, anything unique in your preparation that was unique and like that was the most helpful part in your preparation?
So the most helpful part for me was just writing down all the rationals and all rationals as in therapy ed and PET especially. So I wrote down all the rationals like system wise, all the system wise, and then I kept on revising the rationals. Like the last month I just did rationals, so
Okay,
that helped me a lot.
that's great. All right, so I'll just let you guys go because we have a huge number of people waiting. But again, congratulations to all three of
Thank
you.
you,
That
sir.
was
Thank you
hard work.
Thank you
so
so
much.
Thank you
much,
so
sir.
much.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Stay in touch with you. No
Yes.
worries.
Thank you
Thank
so much, sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Right, so I'll try to get in Purva and I'll try to get in Deepshika next. Uh, and let me see if I can get Abba. Okay, great. Uh, is that Purva? Is that
Yes, sir.
Sir,
This is Purva.
this is Deepshika.
Deepshika, Purva? And then, okay, so I'm waiting. Let's see if we have one more person. Okay. And Manisha, you can just close that link. I think that might take you up, which will allow me to add other person. So, Deepshika and Purva. So again, congratulations to both of you. Let me
Thank
add
you
the
so
third
much.
person.
Thank you, sir.
Hold on, let me see if Abba is in or not. So audience, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to ask. I guess I don't know what happened to Abba, but I'll see if I can add Anshu. Okay, all right, great. So both of you, congratulations. It's a big achievement. It's a big victory. What
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
So give me a little background about you. Like, we can go with you, Deepshika. What's your background?
So, sir, I did my bachelor's in physical therapy from Civil Hospital, Ahmedabad in 2016. And then soon after that, I changed my field. I did a master's in health informatics. And then I came to US in 2019, and then I decided to take
Okay.
NPTE.
And this was your first attempt?
Yes,
That's
yes,
great.
this was my
So
first
Purva, how
attempt.
about you? If you can share a little background
Yeah,
about you.
I passed out in 2010 and then I worked in India for almost 10 years. And then last year I came here and started with my evaluation. Then I had to give some 4-5 CLEPs, then TOEFL, then Texas jurisdiction. So I was just getting used to get the exam. So NPTE was not, I was just getting familiar with the US centers and how's the environment and everything. But going
That's
back
great.
to books was really very difficult after such a huge gap.
Yeah, I'll come to that point, but let me introduce. I think we have Anshu ma'am. Anshu ma'am, I think we are talking first time, so I'll introduce her. She was my actually teacher in college, and I never attended the classes. I was not the sincere one, but she was my teacher in college, and I guess we didn't talk much. We were just chatting on via text messages, and anytime she'll ask me a doubt or any tip, I'll avoid. Like, I feel like I don't think I should give her. It's like teaching your teacher how to pass the exam. So let's not mess with your teacher. But ma'am, give me a little background about, like, the students who are listening. When did you graduate, and a little about you?
So I did my master's back in 2010 from IMS, and since then I was not working because of some family commitment. So I started attending classes from 2022 November, and for whole 3 months I attended it regularly, and I started learning new things each and every class. That's true. How to apply the concept in theoretical concept in the clinical setting, kind of thing. So it's very beneficial to me.
That's great. That's great. So, Manisha, I'll come to you. Manisha, what do you want to share with students during your preparation, like muscular neurocardio? It's such a huge course, and I think you had already had a struggle, like, with other credentialing. So, what should be a strategy of any student who's preparing for this exam? How to finish such a huge course and remember it and go for the exam and pass it in the first round? So, what should be the strategy for finishing the course?
Sir, did you ask Pooja or
That was
me?
for you. That was for you. I'm sorry. I think that was for. I completely missed the name. So Deepshika, yes, Deepshika, that was for you.
Deepshika?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So, sir, honestly, I didn't open any book. I just followed your PowerPoint presentations. And what I did was I made my notes in the PowerPoint itself. So, that was very helpful. And it is not possible to go through each and every book, but we have everything all together in just
Okay.
one PowerPoint. So that was very helpful. And I just followed that only to cover the entire course
So you
within 3
added points
months.
in the PowerPoint. What were you?
Yes, sir. I made my notes in the
And you
yes,
were
in the
revising.
PowerPoint itself. I didn't even get them printed out. It's just I used to read from the
Okay.
soft copy
Okay, that's
only.
great. So, anything unique? Like, what was the toughest section for you? Muscular neurocardio, non-system.
Uh, For me, the toughest section was other system because again, like Bhavya, I cannot memorize anything. I have to go through the concept. So other system was the biggest challenge for me, but I used to use a strategy for each and every subject. Like for MSK, I especially used to use visualization, and for cardio neuro and other system, I used to use elimination and
Okay, so
anticipation
for muscular
strategies.
visualization. Okay, and how about
Yes.
the? Okay, I'll go to you, Purva. So Purva, practice exams are again a big challenge. First of all, like finishing a 4 hour practice exam
True.
itself is like managing time of 4 hours, and then finishing the rationals. So any student who is going for October, what should be their strategy to finish exam and the rationals, and how should they do it? Should they note down the rationals in their own words, or just revise it from the therapy aid? What should be the strategy for students?
Like I followed StudyBuddy timetable, like what date they have given to take the exam. I took it on that date, max 1 day late, but not more than that. And later on, the classes taken by Ankita ma'am was very helpful, like how to interpret that exam. Because once you get this score, initially I was upset. Like I used to get 51. First exam I got 51%. And I was like, I'm not passing in 3 months. It's just impossible because 50% I cannot pass. But then her strategy classes really helped. And then I spoke to Shri ma'am. She was my mentor. So she told me to focus on each score. Like you figure out what MSK questions you got wrong. So then each subject, like what neuro questions you got wrong. So I was like, I realized that I was good in all concepts. Like MSK, I got all gate questions correct. I got all concepts where application, that questions I got correct. Then I realized where I'm lacking is mugging up. I'm very bad at it, like these myotomes and everything. So then I focused on that, and moreover those questions were like sports based questions. I did not know what is acceleration phase in soccer game, so I literally googled everything, what is acceleration phase, what is deceleration phase, and then according to that I noted down, like this is, I draw those stick diagrams. And Shri ma'am told me after your exam you write it down, like why you got that wrong. Like, did you forget that thing, or you did not know that thing, or you just got confused? So I wrote it down that in my rationale. So when I was preparing for the next exam, I realized that I knew the concept, but I'm forgetting few things and I'm getting confused with few things. So then it
So
worked really well. Yeah.
yeah, it was. So I mean, Purva, you were a very good student. I remember you even in the class. I could
Thank you,
say,
sir.
based on the kind of questions you were asking, that you have a very good background. I mean, you have been out of touch, out of therapy for like, I mean, you were a therapist for 10 years, but then not connected with books for like 8, 10 years. But I can say that your understanding was good. So even if your understanding was good, still you managed to get like 51% in first exam. So anybody who's listening, keep in mind your first exam score does not decide anything. It's like based on that score, what strategy are you following after that? And she managed to pass within like 2 months after that. So that's a good motivational thing for anybody who's listening for the exam. So I'll come to you, Anshumam. Anshumam, and you had a mentor, right? Purva, she was your mentor.
Yes, Shri ma'am was my mentor.
And that was, how helpful was that?
Oh, it was very helpful. Like, I can't explain it
Okay.
because that really helped me, because I did not know how to interpret from that exam. And I used to feel depressed. Oh God, it's not happening. Even my PET, first PET I got 134, second PET I got 138. And I called ma'am that should I postpone? I'm not passing PET. Then how can I pass NPT? It's just 1 month. And she was like, calm down, work on your rationals. And it really, that talk was really important at that time, because I was going into that depression mode. Like,
Yeah. I
I'm
mean, it's
not
not
passing.
easy. I mean, it's not easy. It's not easy. So passing exam in first attempt, and with, I mean, such a huge course to finish, like muscular neurocardio, I can tell you, like, I took board residency exam, orthopedics and geriatrics. I passed both of them, and I can say that that was easier than NPT, because in NPT you have to study all subjects, muscular neurocardio, multisystem, nervous system. For those board residency, you just have to study musculoskeletal. So those were the easiest exam compared to NPT. So yeah, it's not easy. But I'll come to you, Anshumam. Anshumam, um, such a long gap, and you have like a 10-year-old kid. How did you manage everything? And I mean, you passed pretty much both PET also, I remember. So how should anybody prepare so that they are on track?
So the thing which worked for me is I used to watch your lectures repeatedly. So this is the key for me. I used to watch MSK, neuro, cardio, all the lectures. So I don't know, I think the visual memory or the auditory, so I can connect. And every time when I watch the lectures next time, so I get new concept. Means the thing which I was knowing previously, now I got new concept. So this is the my strategy which worked for me.
Okay. How about a revision? What was it? I mean, a revision of lectures, but how about the exams? Like you were taking each exam and making mistakes. Like what was the strategy after each exam? What were you doing after each exam?
So whatever mistake I was doing in the previous exam. I used to go back and read those topics first and try to remember them. This is the strategy which worked mostly for me. And I always keep the eye on the timing so that I always finish my exam on time. If I stuck for any question, so I thought it's better to leave it and not to spend too much time on that question.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's great.
Even for
And you did not have any mentor also, right?
no.
You managed everything by yourself. So that's very impressive. I mean, without mentorship, just with the classes you finished,
Yes.
and
Yeah.
in first attempt, that too.
And with your notes
That's great.
only, so
No worries. So I'll come to you, Deepshika. Deepshika, any last tip for students? Now, were you with a mentor? Did you have any mentor?
Yes, sir. I was
He
with
was the
Shri
mentor.
ma'am.
Okay. So
Yes.
why should any
Yeah.
student take mentorship? Like, why should anybody take mentorship? How is that helpful?
So mentorship is I took mentorship because I was not confident with the questions. Like I was very good with the concepts. Even I used to revise lectures multiple times, but when I used to solve questions, I had a lot of difficulties. So when I talked to Shri ma'am, she told me that she would specifically focus on the questions, and that was very helpful. Like we used to solve questions in the lectures, and she would ask us everyone, and that was very helpful. So if we are struggling with the question, then we should definitely go
Okay.
for mentorship. And as Purva said that uh, uh, before 1.5 months before the exam, we get very frustrated. It was very stressful time. So that time having a mentor, that will be very helpful. Like she will guide us where
That
we are
talk, I think
lacking.
that talk,
And
quick talk in last 1 month, that can
yes,
make a difference, because I remember when I was a student preparing for the exam, it's such a huge course to prepare for NPT, and then so much to prepare, but you don't have that many hours in a day to finish everything. So then you
yeah,
start to feel,
exactly.
even though you have
Yes,
revised PNI so many times, suddenly everything goes out of the mind. So I guess at that moment, somebody telling
exactly.
you the right thing makes a big difference. So that's great. So
Yes,
again,
sir.
anything unique, Purva? Anything last minute tip for students before I
Yeah,
let you guys go?
I would like to suggest that in the classes, every teacher tells that this is very important. 100% you get one question. And in my
Okay.
notes, I have written it down 100% one question in the corner of that topic. And I decided I'm not losing point on this because I know it is 100% coming, like
Okay.
Cushing syndromes, hyperthyroidism, gait. So it's it written in my notes on the corner, like 100% one question. So I was like, कि, you have to prepare this topic well. Even if you lose like research one or two questions, it's okay. I was like, wait, I have to have do this properly. And I was focusing on that pretty,
That's
with focus, like I have to get this right.
So that's a good strategy. Like those small things make a difference, because if you know it's gonna come, I
Yeah.
think we'll start doing for a topic. So, ma'am, I'll come to you. Anshu, ma'am, any quick tip for students who are going for the exam? Like anything that was unique in your preparation?
so in last year, last class, good luck class, you told me whenever you saw the non-system question, you have to see it clearly and thought that I would not get it wrong. So I applied that strategy in my exam. So I think,
So,
yeah, for non-system, yeah. I read the question
okay.
twice and I try not to make it wrong. That was my
Yeah,
strategy, yeah.
that's a good strategy. That's great. That's great. So again, amazing tips. So I'll let you guys go. Again, congratulations to all three of you. It's a big victory. It's a big achievement. And passing exam in first attempt is like only 30% people pass exam in first attempt. So I mean, you guys, many of you, ma'am and Puru, you graduated like 10 years back. You guys
Yes.
should be very proud of you. I think you guys might be the gold medalist in your class.
No,
So that's amazing.
No, sir,
you and
it's because
study
of
buddy
you
it
and
is.
the
Yes,
entire
yes,
study buddy
yes. Because
team.
otherwise it was
Yeah,
very difficult.
that's why we are it very
That's
difficult,
good to
sir.
hear. That's good to hear.
Seriously.
Okay. All right, guys, you guys can go. I'll have other students
Thank you, thank
Thank
you.
who are
you.
waiting in line. Let me see.
Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you so much, sir.
I'll get um let me get Abba. if you can join in, and let me get Shweta, Ava, Shweta, and let me get Paresh, if you get all of you, if you can join in. And Purva, I think you just have to cross it. Is it
Yeah.
Ava? You? Hi, Ava. How are you? And is that Shweta?
Yes, sir.
Hi, Shweta. How are you?
I'm good, sir. How are you, sir?
Good, good, good. Let's see if Paresh.
Hi,
Hi, Paresh.
sir.
Okay, all right. So we have Ava, Paresh, and Shweta. So Ava, if you can just quickly introduce yourself. Who are you? Like a background, when did you graduate, so that everyone knows what they're hearing from you. Mhm, mhm, mhm. Okay. Mhm. Pooja. Okay, that's great. That's it. I'll come to you, Shweta. Shweta, a little bit about you.
Sir, is it audible? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you.
I completed my study in 2020 from Government Physiotherapy College, Daud in Gujarat. And after then, I did practice for 2 years in India. And after then, I came to USA like in August 2022. I joined in October for StudyBuddy, but I didn't
Okay.
kept any
Yes,
lectures
sir.
at that moment. And I
I'm
did
Mhm.
started
doing
with
good, sir.
like January with the recorded
January.
lectures. Yes.
That's good. Uh, Paresh, a little bit about you, if you can share your background.
Yes, sir. I cleared my BPT in 2011, and
Mm-hmm.
then I practiced 10 years in India. And in last
Mm-hmm.
February, I came to USA. And
Mm-hmm.
from,
Okay.
yes, after coming,
Yeah,
So,
yeah, my
okay, I'll
yeah,
come
my last
I'll come
college
for this question.
year
So
was
Abba, before you
2009,
do,
where I took my master's from
one
India.
question is about
Then I joined
exams.
StudyBuddy in 2018,
How
but I had
sincere
no
were you
clue
with all
how
the
I am going to
exams?
come to US at
And
that time.
in terms of
And then I
finishing
reached US
exams,
1 year
revising
back,
rational,
and
what
then
was the
I
strategy
took
with
the
exams?
NPT seriously, and I just worked for that. And I took mentorship also with Pooja ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Mhm. Okay. So, and you were revising rationals pretty much every day, or twice each exam rationals? And did you note down the rationals, or just from the book, or the from online? You've written the wrong ones. Okay. And the questions that you were getting wrong, were you going back to those topics, or just finding why that's wrong in this question? Okay. Mm,
I took it like a real exam. I took it on.
okay.
I tried to finish it
Okay.
on
Okay.
time,
That was
and
good.
I
So
revised
Shweta, how about
those
you?
rationals which
If you're
I
gonna share
got wrong. I
strategy about
spent time
exams,
more on
because
that,
it's not
and
easy.
for
Like
every
after each
options,
exam, let's
four
say if somebody's
options,
scoring
I
120,
went
130, what
through
should
the
they do
Google and
after each
try
exam?
to
And how did
understand
you
what it
manage to
was,
do
how I got it
rationals,
wrong, and how should
revision?
I
What was your
think, like
strategy for
what
exams?
did I
Strategy.
So to
do,
be honest,
how
like
what
Purva,
mistake
I
did I
just got
do and all.
53% in my
So that
first exam,
really helped
and
me.
I was
First
And
exam.
also I
yes, sir,
took
and
the
I was so
as
nervous.
sir
And
suggested last time,
I
I took the
started
Score
my
Builders
study
online
like in
advantage exam. I
January.
didn't
After
buy the
then,
book.
Mm-hmm.
for
And
the till April, I just finished the lectures and made the
yeah,
notes. And after then, I took
not
the
every day,
exam
sir. I just
on the study buddy
did
schedule
twice.
only. And I
Yeah.
did take the mentorship of the Shri ma'am, and she
Mm-hmm.
pushed me a very hardly. I
I did the
Okay.
wrong ones.
literally I
I have
can't
written the
thank
wrong
enough to
ones.
her. And
I
my roommate also
Mm-hmm.
passed
yeah,
her exam,
only the wrong ones.
real. So she also told me the strategy and all those things. After then, I just noticed one thing that is the if you go
Yeah,
wrong with the
sometimes I Google
some
and sometimes I go
questions,
back to the
it
lectures.
will be victory point
Sometimes
because you will
I know
never
that
ever
some
forget
topics were
that
weak
is
for me, where
that
I haven't
question.
Those
watched
wrong
the
questions are
lectures.
your
So I
Yes,
went
sir.
back and
That's
started
good to
watching
know.
those
So
lectures, and that really
you
helped me,
started
sir.
in January and your first exam score was 53%. Shri was your mentor. So I think Shri, you had been doing amazing. I think Shri is there in the chat. So a lot of applause for Shri.
Yes,
Great
sir.
work. So how much did you score in PEAT exam, if you can share? Like from you started at 53%, what was your score in PEAT?
So in retire pit, I scored like 137, and the main pit, I scored 152.
And in practice PEAT,
Yes,
152.
yes,
And that was your first time taking PEAT exam?
yes, sir.
Okay. I mean, so retired PEAT 135, 152. So we are slightly below the passing mark, but we can still manage to pass if you take PEAT on time. I think you had 1 month after that, after
Yes,
retired PEAT.
yes, sir.
Okay, that's great to know. So Paresh, I'll come to you. Paresh, did you take any mentorship or did you manage everything by
No,
yourself?
I managed by myself.
Okay, so share something like how should a student manage to pass in first attempt? What should be the strategy without a
Uh,
mentor?
I came in US in February and immediately I joined the StudyBuddy. One of my friends suggested me to join the StudyBuddy because they are teaching from basic to advanced level. So
Okay,
immediately I joined in 1 week after coming to
okay,
USA. And
okay, okay.
at that time also I missed the 10 lectures. So I seen that lecture in recorded
Oh,
video, and after
uh-huh.
after 3 months I started to solving the question. Up to 3 months I
So first 3 months just the lecture. You finished all the
yes
lectures in 3 months.
finish lecture
Okay.
and making a note.
So were you making your own notes or were you using PowerPoint and adding notes there, or were you using our own other notes of StudyBuddy? What exactly
I
was your
was
strategy
making
for
my
that?
own note while watching
Okay,
the video. Yet in one
okay,
second day, because on first day it is not enough time to
yeah,
make a
no.
note in live
So that
video.
was in the live lecture. You did not have enough
Yeah,
time, but
so
you were next day again. You
yeah,
were repeating the lecture.
repeating on second day I was repeating the lecture and making a note.
Okay, okay, that's good. And then after 3 months, you started practice
Yes.
exams. Any strategy for practice exam? Like what were you doing after practice exam? Because you did not have any mentor. What was your strategy after each practice exam?
So every wrong question I make a note, and even though
Mhm.
even that question that I don't know the correct answer in, by chance I
Mhm.
get correct, that I have to write down in the note.
Okay, okay,
Mhm.
okay, okay. So that was the strategy. That's good. So one last question to you, Abba. Abba, anything that you want to share to motivate students who are going for October? What should be the strategy? Mhm. And how was Pooja's mentorship? Like, why should anyone join Pooja's mentorship? How was that helpful? Okay. Mhm. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, that's good. That's good. All right, I'll let you guys go. Enjoy. It's a big success. You should be proud of yourself. A big achievement. But stay in touch with everybody. If you guys need any help, let us know. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank you
guys.
so much.
Thank you. All right, let me see. We have Herschel, and I'll get Disha and Amina. All right, let me see if I can get them. Herschel, Disha. Yeah. So if you guys can, is that Herschel? The first one is Herschel.
Hello, sir.
And you are Amina or
Desha.
Disha? Hi,
Desha.
Disha. So we'll start with you, Harshil. Harshil, a little background. Hi,
Hi.
Amina. Harshil, a little background about you. Just quickly, one word. A little bit about
Sir,
you.
I passed in 2019, back in India from
India. Okay. That's good. That's good. How about you, Disha? A little background about you.
2016. I'm from Ahmedabad, and I graduated in 2016, and then I went to Canada as a student. Then I got some experience there, and then I moved to USA, and then cleared NPT.
Okay, great. Amina, how
Yes,
are
sir,
you,
good.
Amina?
How are you, sir?
Amina,
Good.
a little bit about
Yeah.
you.
Sir, I did my master's in 2014 from India. Then we came to US in 2017. And then I joined StudyBuddy in 2020. And then, I mean, that was COVID time. And then I gave my first attempt in 2021. But I did not pass because I did not really study well, because I had two toddlers with me, and that was COVID time. And after that, because of some reasons, I could not study. And then just 6-7 months before, I started studying again. And my kids, they were going to school. So that time I used to study. And then I took mentorship with Shri ma'am 3 months before, yeah.
Yeah, if you can share a little bit about like how sincere were you with our practice quizzes that are there on the website for each joints, like shoulder, elbow, PNI?
Yes, sir. I did all the practice quizzes and like all the three attempts.
All the attempts you took. Okay. And any strategy for practice exams? How were you managing? Especially like you have a toddler. How did you manage 4-5 hours for exam? And the
yes, sir. I mean, 3 months before, I called my mom to help me.
Okay.
So that time I was only studying. And then for the practice exams, I was, whatever questions I was getting wrong, I used to revise that topics. So yeah.
Okay. So revise those topics completely. And how frequently were you revising them? Every day or every few days?
Yeah, after, maybe after 8 to 10 days, yeah.
Once a week. Okay, that's good. So Harshil, tell us something. How can a student pass? That one tip that every student must follow, and that will help them pass.
That is first of all revision that is needed. Yeah, that is most important point to do.
Yes.
And
how were you revising? There's too much to revise.
I especially share my first TET exam score was just 39%.
Okay. And then how did you manage after
that time? And that is just before the 2 months, two and a half months before the actual NPTE exam.
And what did you do after that? How to score from 39% to pass NPT in first attempt? What should everybody's listening?
Yeah. So revision, that is what I said. And first of all, clearing the concept of each and every topic or each and every subject, like MSK, neuro, cardio, system, non-system. Every topic has importance. And particularly, I'm asking about MSK. We are doing that dermatome and myotome. So we gather that information in mind that we don't have to read this. We already know this. But when you are again going for the questions, at that time there's a simple question. It makes so tricky things, and then you are like, what is the actual answer? This now or this now or this route or this one route. So revising and clearing your basic concept and combining all the things together, and then you will pass the NPTE.
Now, you were revising notes or the lectures? What exactly were you revising?
I started the classes and making notes with the classes. After completing the classes, I going through the PPTs, soft copy, and again making notes and adding the notes or keywords in that particular point to my notes. And after completing that, I'm going with the questions with the StudyBuddy portal and the Saunders and other books also. And after completing that particular question, I'm adding the points in a particular notes. So by the adding notes and clearing the concepts, I am adding up the bunch of new stuff and the memories that I have to recall and keep on set out to manage to go with the things.
Okay. That's good. That's good to know. I mean, you have a unique story. So I'll come to you now. Again, we're like missing the names.
Disha.
Disha, yeah, Disha. So Disha, anything unique, like every student should do, like Herschel said, it revision, right? So Disha, what should be the strategy for other students other than revision? Anything other than revision? I know we know revision is important, but anything other than revision, what should we do?
Making a cheat sheet, it's like really helpful at the last moment, because everyone will do revision, everyone will revise lectures 3 times, 4 times, everyone will make their own notes, or ppt will go through ppts and TED exam and everything. But in the last time, it's too much, like you cannot go through everything. So what I was doing it, whenever you were telling in the lecture that this one question for sure, this is the most coming, every time I was writing it in the side, and then I was making cheat sheet. It was really helpful in the last month. I was keep revising that, and it was very helpful. Even your PNI lectures are best, because
Okay.
the one who already appeared in exam, they know that PNI are coming more, like frequently they're asking
PNA was helpful.
everything. Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
best. I don't think anyone can teach like you.
that's good to know, Disha. That's good to hear. So a cheat sheet, like if you can give an example, like that's interesting to know as a teacher also. What exactly were you noting in the cheat sheet? Like just the name of the topic and you had to revise it, or what exactly was there in the cheat sheet?
Like when you are talking about hip condition, like hip condition or knee condition, then you can say that SCFE or LCPD, then what movement you avoid. So in the end, it's lot of conditions similar. So they avoid flexion, adduction, internal rotation. Then something is flexion, abduction, and external rotation. So you cannot, no one can remember each and everything separately. So what you can do, you can concise it in like specific and cheat sheet. So it will be easier in the last moment to recall that, okay, this is
Those
all
kind of
coming
things,
in this table.
important.
Yeah, you can make
Okay.
your own tables in that way.
That's a lot of hard work. That's good. I mean, nobody passes the exam without a hard work. That's good to know, Disha. So, and now you know what? I get this question a lot. Students keep asking me, sir, how many hours should I study? And I don't know the answer for that. So, and you guys might have been in the same shoe back in the day. How many hours? Just tell us the number, and we'll pass. So, Disha, what do you think? How many hours were you putting in
I was
every day
it
in the beginning
depends.
and in the last 1 month?
It depends. You know, I was keep asking everyone that how did you prepare? How I was keep asking, like so many people I contacted, but it's not. Then I realized that it's not same for everyone. Everyone is different, but at least
How many hours
minimum
did you manage
8 to 10 hours, 8 to 10
in the first month or in the last month?
in the last 2 months.
Last 2 months, 8 to 10 hours. Okay, so we know the answers. So Amina, what do you think? How many
Sir,
hours
I don't know.
is
For me, it was completely different. I wanted to spend more hours, but it was not possible for me. But initially, I used to at least 5 to 6 hours. And then later, when my mom came, that time I was like 10, 11 hours, like that.
10,
Yeah.
11 hours towards the end?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. And Harshil, how about you? How many hours? Because I mean, you started at 39%.
Yeah.
Hope you're not trying 24 hours. So how many hours,
For
please?
TED 1, I increased the timing. So before that, I am between 6 to 8 hours, but I think that time is not enough for me. So I add 4 to 6 hours more. So combining that, I woke up at 4 a.m. to combine with the studies and managing with the timing and all, and with the stuff that we have to remember.
10, 12 hours a day. Okay, that's very interesting. So guys, anybody who's listening, I mean, there's no shortcut. Nobody's passing the exam with some shortcuts.
Sir,
You have to put in 8, 10 hours a day, and you can make it in first attempt. Yeah, Disha, go ahead.
sir, I want to
So
tell all the students that never feel that if you missed like PETA exam or TED exam or score builder, then you will not make it. because I am the one who never passed.
You never passed. So what was your score in PET exam?
133.
133. So again, we know now that anybody scoring above 130, and if you have a month after that, you can make it.
Yeah.
But a lot of time what happens, Disha, that a lot of students delay that, because we ask you guys to take exam in the first week of that month of NPT, but a lot of students delay it like 17th or 18th. If you score 130 at that time, then you don't have chance. But if you score 130 in the beginning of the month of NPT, then definitely you'll make a big difference. So that is what we have seen. But again, thank you for all the tips and strategies. I'll let you guys go and enjoy. Go celebrate. It's a big achievement. Okay, so be proud of yourself. Okay, thank you guys. Thank you. Let me have we know a lot of people. Let me get Kushali. Let me get you, and then Sakshi, and then Rima. Let me get you guys. In the meantime, if you guys have any questions that specifically you want me to ask them, I can ask them. But I mean, so far it looks like mentorship makes a big difference. Okay. Now, if you can just say your name, because it doesn't tell me your name.
Oh, it's Rima.
Kushali? Rima? Hey, Rima, how are you?
Hi, good, thanks.
We have Rima, and then let's see if we have anybody else yet. Kali and Aisha. Let's see. Oh, sorry. Sakshi, if you're able to join in. So, Rima, tell me about you, like a little background about you.
Well, I graduated from Canada in 2006.
So, what did you study in Canada?
Therapy.
Okay, 2006.
Yes.
And then now what?
So now
what have you done?
My husband moved to California because of work. So then I had to do all my educational credentialing. And by the time everything happened, it was last year, October, that they allowed me to write the exam. And then I was looking for some help, because even if I went back and studied everything that I learned in, university, I knew it wouldn't be easy. Like, and the material, there was 30% completely new material, I felt, compared to Canada.
Okay.
Like,
Compared to
yes,
Canada.
like, I mean, when I did my PCE, I don't remember we're studying wounds and integumentary and medications and I never remembered all of that. So I was like, oh, this is all like into this much depth was kind of new for me. And I really had to put my effort in there. And so then I found StudyBuddy, and I just decided, you know what, I'm going to join this and go through. You did the free week of lectures, and that was very helpful, because then I knew you were actually teaching me topics, and I didn't have books with me, because when we moved to California, I didn't bring my textbooks. So it was like, okay, I'm totally relying on this.
That's good to hear. Now, did you have any mentor? Rima?
No.
No mentor? You managed by yourself? That's awesome. I mean, all these people who graduated before 2010 did not have mentor, because they themselves are like mentors now. So that's good to know. So now, is that Aisha or Sakshi, the other person?
This is Isha.
Isha? Hi, Isha. How are you?
Sir, I'm good. How are you?
Let me see if other person is not able to join in. A little bit about your background, like when did you graduate?
Yes, sir. I graduated in 2021. Then I came to the States in January 2022. And I was in the first semester in a different university. Then I moved to DU. And after that, in October 2022, I started preparation. So the thing was that I had initially thought of giving the exam in July, but I then preponed it and I gave it in April. But I didn't make it because my preparation was not consistent, and it had a lot of gaps in between. So I think that was the main issue with my preparation. But then I gave again in July, and then I cleared it. So
okay. And what was different from April and July? What was different in your preparation?
Sir, I obviously was very consistent. I put in around 8 to 10 hours. Since the next day, the result that came from that day itself, I started studying, and I like gave my 100% commitment, because I went with Zeel ma'am's mentorship, And she asked me
Okay.
like, if you're gonna give 100% commitment, then only come. Otherwise, I was like, no, no, ma'am, I want to pass this time. So that's how it all started. And I was with her mentorship, so that really helped me.
Okay. So Zeal. So what was unique about Zeal
So the unique,
in terms of
yes,
mentorship?
sir. So for me, the unique part was that she would give us a timetable for topics of every day. She wouldn't just give us the subjects, but she would give us the topics and even the books from where to read those topics. So it was very, very specific. So that kind of made my work very easy, and it did not take much time for me to cover up everything, because she would only give the list of important topics to finish and even reference books from where to read it from. So like we understood the whole topic from 3 or 4 books. So that was very helpful for me. Yeah.
That's good to know. That's good. So we have Vedika, right? Vedika here.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Hi, Vedika. How are you?
Hi, good, sir.
So Vedika, that was your first attempt. You're also from DBU. So Vedika, you managed without mentorship. You do not have any mentor.
Yeah.
Right. And this was your first attempt. So how to pass the exam? Why, like, how can anyone pass the exam if they follow your strategy? What will be your strategy if you have to teach one day?
So one main strategy of mine would be, at least first, in the first 2 months, I'd say first finish all the lectures, watch all of them once, make your own notes and start concising them, because I made this mistake with myself. Like in the first go, I did not concise all my notes and I did not put them into one, because it's very vast, the PPT, the notes, the textbooks. So if you concise it into one place, it really helps, in at least for the further revisions. Secondly, when 3 months are remaining, like for me, it was in May. From May 1st, I started solving 50 questions every day from Saunders. Like in the morning, I'd do the questions, and in the evening, I'd do the rationals of the 50 questions I solved. I would note down the time which I used, how much time it took me to solve them. I also checked how much I would be getting right. Like if I was solving 50, like I used to score sometimes 28, 30. So if you know how much you're scoring, you know where to work on. In that, there are different chapters of examination, intervention, and everything, so it helps. Secondly, after that, after I finished Saunders in a month, if I did 50 questions in a month, I finished Saunders. After that, I would go to TrueLearn, because I wanted to solve more questions, because that really helped me change my approach to questions, because I feel that's a critical part, because in NPTE, sometimes they don't ask you direct knowledge-based questions. Sometimes you know that you're going to lack in certain areas in knowledge, but if you're able to eliminate and if you're able to select like the right answer from that, that's really going to help you. Like it's going to be a game changer for y'all. So I feel using the strategies, it was that like solving Saunders and TrueLearn really helped me developing those strategies. And of course, I didn't have a mentor, so I would speak to you, sir, in like after I gave my feet, like just talking to sir and getting the rapid fire questions, and knowing where your weaknesses are and then working on them. Also, for before every exam, I used to whatever I felt was like something which I'm going to forget, I used to stick it on my wall. So before every exam, I used to at least go through that. Some things like special tests, dermatomes, myotomes, or something you can, revise every week, if not every day, because it is difficult to, find time for it every day. But at least if you do it once a week, that really helps.
Now, were you studying full time or were you also working at the same time?
So I was working till May. So I left my IT job in May and I started, giving full time to
That's
studies.
good. So 3 months of full time studies.
Yeah.
That's good. So, okay, I'll come back to you, Rima. Rima, how about non-system? What will you tell to students about non-system? How do they finish? And non-system was the most weirdest part for me also, like research, orthosis, prosthesis, equipment, devices, and then your modalities. What was your strategy for non-system?
I think, sir, you guys have awesome content. Like I really only focused on the lectures. And and there was the compilation of the sheets, like all the lectures, like you have a section where self-study notes. So I just took a printout of all of that, and that's it. I just kept revising that and it's like rubbing on a stone, and one day it just clicked. But I just that was Like initially it was hard, but later it just went through. Like I was like, okay, I get it, I get it. But it was a lot of revision, and I did not pick up any book. Neither the books that you had posted. I know books are there for if I needed it, but I never looked at it. The notes and the lectures were good enough.
Sufficient.
Yes, and
That's good.
I was able to.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
Okay. So Aisha, what do you want to share about? Because this was your second attempt you shared.
Yes.
Now,
Sir.
anytime we miss the exam, we get anxious, and that sadness or depression kind of things like haunts us. Like, how do I deal if I miss second time and all? How are you managing that part? Because every student, anytime we fail practice exams, suddenly we get depressed, and it's very normal. So how do you manage all that?
So, sir, my case was a little different. When I gave my first exam, I was very anxious and I took a lot of stress. So I think that was the thing that stopped me and came in the way of me passing the exam. I didn't had a clear head at that time. So after I failed, I realized, okay, now I need to get this thing sorted. Otherwise, I'm not gonna pass. So I just changed my whole mindset, and I used to sit for the whole duration of the exam. Like 5 hours, I would used to sit only at one place, take that 15-minute break, and after that, I would just run outside the house. I would go for a jog, do some activity, and then come back. So that jog really helped me, and exercising really helped me. So that's the thing that I did, and my friends were also like very supportive. So
you were in DBU, right? I think
yes.
I think Pratna saying that you guys were reading Hanuman.
Yes.
So,
and my study partner was Anushka, so we are even roommates. So she had a huge role to play in my success. I used to study with her. We would discuss doubts. If anytime I would feel low, then I would talk to her or to Madhura. So it was a good support system. So
that's great. Madhura is there in the chat. I can see her. That's good to know. Especially, you know what? Anybody who wants to come to US for masters, I'll recommend go to DBU because you get all the smartest students there who are studying. So you'll already get a study partner. Like, I think we had more than 20-30 students from DBU who took the exam, and all of them passed the exam in first attempt. So, which is amazing. I mean, even second attempts, like you get a study partner who will push you, and those small things make a difference. So that was good tip. Let me come to you, Vedika. Vedika, one last thing that you want to share for students?
I'd say keep going. Sometimes it gets hard, and you tend to sink into your scores. Don't let the scores bug you down. Keep going because eventually it's all about the growth. It's all about how you go forward, and don't look back at your scores. Because if you do that, your anxiety, your mental demons are gonna get to you. And just believe and just keep solving questions because I mean it's one thing knowing and having the knowledge of the subject, which is very important, getting your concepts clear, but at the same time how to approach a question it's a really different ball game altogether. But
That's good to know. So I'll let you guys go. Enjoy. Big success, big achievement. Be proud of yourself, and this will be your memory for the rest of your life. It's a big achievement.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Let me see if I can get Kushali. I'm not sure if you're able to get in. Jignesh, Kushali, and then Neha Manglani. If you want to get in, you can just close it, or maybe
How do I
just close the Instagram.
I don't even know my kids joined this.
Just maybe.
Leave.
I think we need your kid now for that. Okay, let's see if anybody else is able to join in. For some reason, I guess they're not able to jump in. But do you guys have any questions? If they come in, we can let them in. Otherwise, we'll take some questions from you guys who are going for exam in October. Or if you're in the chat box, just share some tips and strategies. We have many students waiting in line, but for some reason, if your Instagram is not updated, it may not let you come in. Okay, great. Let me see. There is one question. How did you prepare for the last month of exam? So PJ has a question. How did you prepare for the last month of exam? So PJ, I think as you can see, as you heard from students, like they were spending 8-10 hours a day, which is important in last month, and everyone does that. But having a plan for the 8-10 hours is quite important. I think we have Rabab. Hey Rabab, how are you?
Hello, sir. I'm good. How are you?
Good. Khushali, for some reason I don't know why you're not able to join in. I'm sending you invites, and Jignesh also, and Sakshi also. So Rabab, you're from Pakistan, right?
Yes.
Which university is that?
Dow University, Karachi.
Dow. You guys are pretty smart, because I think we get a lot of students from Dow, and you guys are like very successful. So compared to your education in Pakistan, what should a student do if a student from Pakistan is graduated from same university, wants to take NPT? What should be their strategy?
Basically, in bachelor's, unfortunately, we were just looking to clear the exam. We were just concentrating on specific questions and learning those questions and just clearing the exam, which is not a pretty good thing. But when we come for NPT preparation, we have to know the concepts, each and every muscle and their function, how it can like function in different ways. So those concepts were not like pretty much told in our bachelor's.
Bachelor's degree. So now, what was your strategy? Like, what did you do in your, like, how did you prepare? Starting from, like, you were starting from zero. How did you prepare with the lectures and then the exams, if you want to share that?
Yeah, so for the first 3 months, I concentrated on the cohort, the lectures, the PowerPoints. I made my own notes, my detailed notes. I went through all your PDFs, your self-study videos, everything, each and every point. I did not miss a single point. And then I wrote all that points. And after that cohort, I revised that, and then I made PDF form. When I was like taking questions from Therapy at Score Builder, I made notes in a PDF form. Like I put a heading of MSK, other systems, and then I noted down that points in PDF. So when I was revising later on, I just used to type search that, and it was easy for me to revise that.
Okay. Now, how are you managing everything, like managing family and then studies? How many hours were you able to spend a day?
Yeah, I was studying like 8 to 10 hours a day, because I don't have, luckily I have no kids or any such major responsibility other than husband. So I was majorly concentrating on my studies.
Okay. So one more important question, like let's say you took the PEAT exam. After that, how was your day? Every day, how many hours of revision, if you were doing revision every day? How many hours of spending time on new topics? And then rational, how was your day post-PEAT?
So I took PEAT twice. So for the first time, when I did it, I just read the rationals and everything. But once when I failed my NPT for the first time, so I had access to PEAT. It was left for a few days. So I availed those last few days of the PEAT, and I revised all the rationals again, went to all the questions again. The reference which was in the PEAT questions, I went to that book pages of that book and read that pages again. And then in the next PEAT, I concentrated on the options, not only just the question and the correct answer, but also on the other options and why is that even given in the question. So I concentrated on all of those options.
So strategies you are applying. That's great to hear, Rabab. Again, it's not easy to pass the exam even in second attempt. Trust me, it's not easy. You should be very proud, and I think we have some fans for you who are like cheering for you. I mean, very hard worker. So which I know you are extremely hard worker. You worked very extremely hard for this preparation, because I know I was getting your questions, and those questions were really tricky questions. So which made me realize that yes, you are on track. You will definitely make it. So Rob, I'll let you go. You enjoy, cherish this victory. Forget the first attempt, cherish this victory. It's a big achievement. And I'll say stay in touch with us. If there is any one last tip that you want to share with students, that students should follow going for October exam, or who missed the exam first time, what should be the strategy?
One last tip would be like, no matter you are learning new things, but don't forget to revise your notes, because no matter how much new things you learn, you need to revise your notes. And second thing, don't leave any question unanswered. If you don't get the answer, look for the books, ask, like message you, call you, but don't leave those queries unanswered. That is something very important.
If you have any doubts, just make sure, guys, don't ignore any question. If you don't understand anything, don't leave it, because trust me, those questions do come in the exam.
Yeah.
So whatever you're going to skip, I'm pretty sure that would be in your exam. So that was a good tip, Rob. Congratulations once again. Go enjoy, celebrate. It's a big achievement. Let us know if you need anything from us, recommendation or anything, but stay in touch.
Thank you so much, sir, for all your help.
Thank you, Rabab. All right, guys. So I think we'll close it. For some reason, many students are not able to join in. Sakshi, Jignesh, Kushali, many are not able to make it. But if you guys are there in the chat box, just share your strategy. If you want us to ask anything from students, let us know. Probably we can ask some feedback from them, and then we can share it with you guys in the Instagram. And we are starting the new batch from tomorrow. New classes for NPT from tomorrow, and that is tomorrow at we have the orientation class. So join us, and we might be conducting some free classes here and there. But if you want to watch any of our free class, how we teach, it's there on YouTube. Go on YouTube, watch and search for NPTE StudyBuddy, and you might find some free classes that we taught. So that will give you an idea. What is unique about our course is we start from basics. We teach you anatomy also. We have 3D anatomy lectures of muscles, musculoskeletal system, and then we teach you advanced level concepts also. So we start from basics. We teach you for advanced level concept, and if you're an international student, it does take time. It's not like within 3 months. It's not that easy. So we give you access for the whole 1 year. So if you graduated long back, it's always a good idea to start early. Keep repeating the lectures. Like you might have heard from other students who joined us like October or January. So that will help you to revise, repeat things again and again. And then whether you join 1 year before or you just join like 6 months before your exam, fees is same. So why not take advantage of whole 1 year? And even if you're not studying at your 100%, you can come and sit and see how other students are preparing. You can learn some tips from them. Okay, so it's very helpful to start early. And definitely this exam is doable. It's not very hard. Sometimes I feel that the numbers of FSBPT, they say that only 40%, less than 40% students pass their exam in first attempt. But for us, it was like majority of students, more than 90% of them pass their exam in first attempt. It's hard work. I mean, there's no question on that. Nobody's passing the exam by just studying for 3-4 hours. No. They all worked hard, like as you heard, 8-10 hours, or maybe more than that. Maybe they were humble and just said 8-10 hours. But it demands effort. If you put your effort, we can definitely make sure that you'll pass. Okay. And I think we have mentor also. Shri is here. Shri, if you can join in and share a little bit. And Pooja, Zeal, if you guys are here, if you guys, okay, I think Shri is there. So Shri, I'll accept you in. Pooja, if you're there, Zeal, if you're there, or Purvi or Ankita, if you want to join in, just request. Hey, Shri.
Hi, Ankit.
So Shri is one of our mentors for NPT. She is extremely successful, and she was also our student. She's like, I can say she's one of the smartest, because I'll tell you about her. She passed NPT, the US license exam. She passed PCE, which is Canadian license exam. She passed PCE clinical. In Canada, there's a clinical exam also. So, I mean, passing so many exams, definitely you have to be extremely, extremely good. So I think we have some followers saying, "See, ma'am is the best." So okay, I think Pratna. So Shri, tell me about your mentorship. What's unique? What do you find that's the main thing in your mentorship that is actually making a difference in students' results?
Like some of my students mentioned, Ankit, I think basically students come with a lot of anxiety. Students are hardworking, and the biggest thing that we help in mentorship is how we streamline their hard work. Being a student, I tell them that you don't know how to streamline it just because you want everything done. Like there are so many students even today who come to me, first exam, I got only 40%, I got only 50%. I always tell them, if you get 80% in the first exam, you won't come to me. So yeah, that's the major, I think, reason why students should take mentorship. So we just streamline
your hard work in the right direction. So along with working hard, we work smart. Personally, I give them small goals. I tell them I'm not interested to see 80% in the next exam. All I'm interested is change your MSK score by 10 points. So that gives them small goals. And I tell them whenever you achieve small goals, be positive, look at it in the positive direction. That way they start believing in themselves and slowly build up their confidence. So I think that really
That's a good
helps.
strategy. I mean, giving them some plan, because if you tell them like improve your whole overall NPT, your therapy ed score by 10% or 10 points, that may look hard, but just let's focus on one section. That does sound easy. It's not easy, definitely, but they have to work hard. But I think it does sound like I think I can do
It
it.
is
So
hard
that's a
work,
good
definitely,
strategy.
Ankit. But when they also feel satisfied when we give them small goals and they achieve it. They feel satisfied. They don't feel lost. They don't feel that it is impossible. So, and personally, I also focus on 3 big systems. I know other systems, non-systems is equally important, but I feel like these systems need time. You can't change overnight. But I always tell them non-systems, there's a lot to memorize and it's common sense. Once you slowly understand questions, you get through few exams, the questions will automatically grow you. Like you make mistakes in some professional responsibilities. So those questions will give you some knowledge automatically. But that won't happen with MSK. You can't just do mistakes in 5 MSK questions and learn the whole MSK. So yeah, focus on those big systems, get where you should be in those big systems and staying consistent in that big systems and slowly changing the smaller things like other systems and non-systems.
Non-systems. That's true. That's good to hear, Shri. I mean, so I mean, your results have been very successful, and many of your students cross 700, or they're close to 800 also, many of them. So I think it's your effort, and you're definitely doing something unique, which is making a difference. So keep up the good work. We are extremely proud of you. You are like a gem who is so successful and like so talented at the same
I've
time.
had a journey with StudyBuddy, Ankit. I started like all these students when I started. So, and my mentor is Purvi, so I have to say thank you to her first.
That's good to hear. That's good to hear. So when I hear some strategy from students, so I do remember like, okay, she's on the same page as us. So that helped me remember my days when I was doing the strategy classes. So that's good to hear, Shri. Shri, again, good luck again for the next cohort of students. I mean, you have a lot of students to take care of, and we are expecting amazing results again for October. Anybody who's preparing the exam and you know that Shri, Pooja, Azil, they're amazing. They can make a difference in your preparation. Even if you start at 50% in your first exam, they can make a difference. I mean, they'll help you pass. Definitely, it comes with hard work, but they can make a difference.
And one thing I want to
Shri.
share, Ankit, that students always ask me, you know, who is a good mentor or best mentor, this, that. I've seen like in the past few batches, students shift between mentors. All I tell them is any mentor is the same. We all are trained through StudyBuddy and we deliver the same thing. I just tell them, see who suits you and just trust them and don't look back. If you don't trust your mentor, then it will not happen. You just have to trust your mentor. Be in one place. Don't be between 3 mentors and then one day here, one day there, one day there. Then you're all messed up because the strategy is all messed up. So just trust your mentor and go, and things will happen. It's all your hard work and things will happen.
That is very important. Like if you can't believe in your mentor, that means you won't believe any tip coming. So it's very important to like talk to your mentors, understand who will suit your needs, and then go with them. So again, thank you, Shri. Thank you for all those amazing tips. So everyone, stay in touch with us. If you guys have any question, you can write an email to nptestudybuddy@gmail.com. We are starting the new cohort tomorrow. Let us know if you guys have any questions. Okay. All right, guys. You
we
all
have to
have
go
a
to
great
DBU and party again.
Yes, thank you, Shri. I'll just end this one.